Thin Lizzy got riffs, man.
Yeah,
that
they do
fucking
have riffs.
jams. Yeah, I'm glad we're all thinking of like that's. I feel like we should have said this earlier. Thin Lizzy fucking jams.
Yeah, they've got great like swinging, shuffling drum beats on like almost every song.
And that's I will say I think that's like a very underrated part of all music that becomes like very aggressively memed. Like it has to be like I think people kind of like will sometimes get the wrong idea and thinking that everyone is like making fun of the song when it becomes this kind of like cultural reference point.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are any songs that become memes like that don't fucking go.
Yeah.
Like Smooth fucking rules.
Yeah.
This song rules. Like that and Bougie rules.
The Boys Are Back in Town rules.
Yeah, The Boys Are Back in Town rules. But this song also rules. But yeah, The Boys Are Back in Town rules. Like
even something like All Star, like people wouldn't be talking about All Star 20 years later
it absolutely
if it was not
goes.
a fucking
All-Star
good song.
is
Yeah.
great. Also, there's a reason that everyone makes fun of Nickelback, but it's not like a Nickelback song is one of these memed songs.
It's true.
The concept of Nickelback as a whole.
Look
at this photograph. Has some good vines.
There was a brief period of
They have some
photograph.
good vines, yeah.
God.
Damn, I just fucking love to get in the Lizzy Mobile and just fucking cruise. Just hang out.
They really sell it.
Elbow out of the Lizzy Mobile with the Lizzy wind in my hair.
The Lizzy wind in your
Just
Lizzy hair.
those that's the sound of the Lizzy wind coming through.
Hot damn.
Thin Lizzy McGuire.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes,
It needed to be said.
Thank you. Yes. So they record that album. They're hitting their stride. Their guitarist quits. Gary Moore of Skid Row is brought in. Gary Moore quits. They bring in two guitarists. I don't know why they decided. Maybe they decided that they were losing them at such a clip that if they got two, they would lose them.
They would have a spare.
They would have
No,
an
it
air and a
just rules
spare.
to have two.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
You're
thing.
like,
It does.
fuck you, we got two.
Yeah. So Brian
Your
Robertson.
band, one guitar. My band, two guitars.
Yeah. I hear you in your band.
Are throwing out your guitarist and getting two guitars.
12-string guitars.
Ooh, 24 strings.
The more strings, the better, baby.
Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham are brought in. Scott is American. Brian is Scottish. Brian Robertson, or Robbo as he is called, he's a Robbo. He's a little more brash and arrogant and guitar hero-y, and Scott Gorham is a little more reticent, experimental, noodly.
Sounds like a good combo.
He was also sort of uneducated, untrained, and he got a little bit better, and he said, now I know the minors and the majors and a lot of the technical crap that goes along with it. So he doesn't give a fuck.
The thick strings go on the top, the thin strings go on the bottom. You put your finger further up the neck, makes a higher sound. Lower on the neck makes a lower sound. Start playing.
Thin Lizzy's on the top, thick Lizzy's on the bottom.
Yep, that's how you play guitar.
Yep. That's how you play the Lizzy. Anyway, this is their golden era, guys. This is like the golden era of Thin Lizard. It's this lineup I think lasts the longest. They record the album Nightlife and then Fighting, which they say has
Fighting is
Fighting.
a great album title.
And it has what they say is like their worst album cover ever, which is them trying to look tough in like these flared denim jeans.
It's not good.
It's not good. And it was taken at a low angle.
Nightlife has a good album
Yes.
cover if you want to look it up.
Is that the one with like the illustrated cougar overlooking a vast
city
vista?
under a moon?
Yeah,
it's really good.
The book also pointed out that album art in fact rules.
Ed note, album art rules.
Yes. So and then jailbreak.
This looks like a freaking Atari game cover.
Yeah, it does. It looks great.
It literally looks like it's like, welcome to the dystopian future city where the only thing that'll save you is rock.
I'll also say that just in terms of Thin Lizzy imagery, if you just Google image search Thin Lizzy live and just scroll down through all the things, you're like, oh, this is what a rock band looks like. It's almost like the ideal generic image of a rock band playing.
I'm guessing those might be from like Live and Dangerous is their live album from a little bit later.
Yeah.
That picture is taken by an NME photographer that they just hired away for the summer. Once again, just people getting these sweet long-term jobs. He basically said, he's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. And they're like, no, it's fine. Like, just call them and tell them that you're hanging out with Thin Lizzy for the summer.
Get in the Lizzy Mobile.
But yes, they have amazing live
nerds.
photography.
Every image of them looks great.
Get in, nerds, we're going rockin'.
And Phil, every image of Phil looks amazing.
His image and
his
presentation,
hair, his mustache,
is
it's great.
Just is fantastic.
The shirts he wears, hell yeah.
I kind of got maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, we definitely have to edit this out. But like, is anyone getting a like? If Prince got really into metal vibe from him a little bit?
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah. This is probably a very obvious thing to
He's kind of got a little
Thin
Freddie
Lizzy
Mercury about him too.
Yeah.
And like the face shape and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a good look.
The look is fantastic.
Strong.
Yeah.
So during this golden age, Phil said, it's not a God-given right to make it and for everybody to be a star. I know why I'm in it, and I know the risks and chances I'm taking, and I know I can always get a job, and I know I can always fuck off on a boat to sea. Ladies and gentlemen, if Phil fails at the rock star dream, he can always just become a seaman.
Why was he in it?
Why was Phil in it?
Yeah.
So Phil wanted to be. He has a lot of charisma. He has a lot of creative talent. He's a poet. He's a writer. And so his battle kind of throughout his tenure with Thin Lizzy is like, am I a commercial hard rocker who pleases the crowds by just rocking real hard and looking real cool? Or do I make more intellectual, cerebral music like
that taps into the vast
like the
history
Velvet
of
Underground
Irish
or some shit?
And like Irish
I feel like
storytelling.
That's more, I'm imagining. I mean, this is definitely maybe wrong, but I'm literally imagining the like process behind like every Led Zeppelin song about like Lord of the Rings being like, all right, like we definitely should make like some bangers, but also who wants to talk about Elrond?
Yeah. I think he's kind of like he's got the soul of a poet and the swagger of a rock
hard
star.
rockman.
Yeah.
Of a hard rock poet.
Yeah. So I think he's struggling with how to present that in a little bit.
Suicide off of Fighting.
Yeah.
This is in their 2-guitar lineup, and I think that is also just that the fact that the song is called Suicide, it taps into like more dramatic subject matter. Mm-hmm. Illustrates that two-sided nature of him.
It's not all Dino's Bar and Grill, not all fun and games.
I mean, this is like tough bar band music, but there's a little more going on in the lyrics than just being bad to the bone.
Yeah. Yes. And he eventually kind of branches off, which is something I don't think mainstream music fans ended up hearing because it wasn't what Thin Lizzy was popular for. But getting more into like poppier stuff and R&B and smoother things, and I think he had more eclectic taste, but the world loved them for being rockers.
I will say that once we get into this era, Thin Lizzy loves just playing 2 guitars at the same time.
The reason they play the way they do is that twin guitar sound specifically. Robbo was playing, and someone flipped a delay button, and he started harmonizing with himself accidentally.
Yeah.
And then they said, what if we just did that, but on purpose? So it's like inventing the goddamn chocolate chip cookie. Wait, were chocolate chip cookies an accident? Potato chips were.
I think both of them were.
Someone sliced a potato too thin.
Whoops, got a chip.
Whoops, got myself a chip.
Anyway,
that's where the twin guitars come from.
It sounds really good, but it also is just funny to be like, we're going to have 2 guitarists, and they're both going to play the exact same thing at all times.
But just a couple steps apart.
Yeah.
In 1975, they tour America. They are opening for what I think is a fantastic bill, Bachman Turner Overdrive and Bob Seger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was reading a little bit of their Wikipedia page, and that bill really helped me put them in context of like what their music is.
Those are their contemporaries.
Like BTO. And they cover a Bob Seger song on this. Rosalie is a Bob Seger song.
Great. Cool.
Yes. Great. That bill is just a screaming billboard for 1975.
Yeah. It is extremely 1975 on this tour. This is the era that brings us those beautiful boys, those beautiful rowdy boys. The boys are back in town. This started.
I was going to ask, what do they do next?
When are these boys coming back in town? It started as a song about a Vietnam War vet called G.I. Joe is Back. And then they were like, wow, this sucks. Let's change it. They actually weren't even going to put it on the album.
A bit of a bummer, isn't it, Phil?
They were going to put it on the album. And then their other manager at the time, Chris O'Donnell, was like, why don't you guys record that one? It's pretty good. And I can't remember which member of the band was reporting this, but they said, this is probably a great case for not letting artists pick their own songs.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say Chris O'Donnell?
Chris O'Donnell.
Not... I assume it's a different Chris O'Donnell.
Than the guy who plays
yes.
the guy in Batman?
Yes.
He was like 6 years old at the time.
It's just like, I mean, we know that they have a history with younger managers. All I'm saying...
Get them early. They're the most pure taste the younger they are.
What is Batman and Robin if not a film about two boys being back in town?
Oh my God, that's so true.
In that great town called Gotham.
Yeah. The town, Gotham. The boys, Batman and Robin.
The bat is back in town.
The bat is
the
back in
boys
town.
are bats in town.